for a time. Musalia was our vice president. It may have been for a short time, but I also suffered the same fate. I was Minister for Home Affairs for 2 months. The way cabinet secretaries present, ambassadors and high commissioners, leaders of majority in the two houses, our governors who are present here, members of county assemblies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I said good morning. Good morning. God is good all the time. And all the time. I'm going to make it brief. First, I want to congratulate the parliamentary choir. I think, to be fair to them, today's attempt was way superior compared to what it was last year. It would have been better, though, if Kajiado County had not come to perform. But I think it will help if we encourage them that it was quite a step from where they were. So, Tongi and your team, please keep at it. I think you're making progress. I also want to thank our speaker today, Dr. Michael Hastings, for speaking to our hearts and our minds. And in a very special way, that God has used him to speak to the leadership of Kenya and the people of our nation. Thank you very much. And because you have been good to us, your request for a prime minister we have a retired one in Kenya, and we can and since the Constitution has abolished the position of Prime Minister in Kenya, so he may not have it any time soon. So we will send you his CV. Maybe you can consider. In any case, we have had people from the UK helping us govern our country. So it may just be an opportunity for us to stay back and do something. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Mr. President, we are gathered here at a good moment. And the prayer breakfast is a special moment to us as the people of Kenya, because this is an occasion that we speak to ourselves candidly in a very straightforward manner, without considering who is in which party, who is in government, who is in the opposition, who comes from what community. So this is a very special moment for us as Kenya. And I agree with Sam Bokisho that other countries may want to consider prayer breakfasts like this that bring people together. And we are, of course, gathered here for good purpose, because the subject today is a new dawn for our country. And what we should do, all of us, responding to the call of our president, that we must read ourselves, our government, our institutions, and our nation of theft and wastage and corruption. It is a good moment. It's a good subject for us to engage in. And theft and corruption is bad in any language. I will tell you from my mother tongue. It is said, Ngom jorindet, kotabne kinindet. It means the following: that a thief may be intelligent, but not more than the investigator. And I think it is an encouragement to our investigative authorities that it is long held that the job that you do is possible. And as we said as a nation, you have our support as you help us deal with the challenge that we have. In any case, Exodus 20:15, the 10 Commandments, says, do not steal. It's as straight as that. Do not steal. Therefore, we are perfectly, not just as a nation, but it is also a spiritual fight. And as we do that, we must remember Exodus 20:16, following verse, which says, "Do not bear false testimony." The president and I were once victims of schemes and machinations and false testimony. It took the hand of God and prayer for us to get out. And we do not want any Kenyan to suffer such again. And as we pursue this very noble cause for the soul of our nation, we must remember to inspire the hawker to own a kiosk, and the gentleman who owns a kiosk to own a shop, and the one who owns a shop to own a mini market, and the one who owns a mini market to own a supermarket and a wholesale. We must remember to inspire the person who walks to buy a bicycle, and the one who rides a bicycle to buy a boda, and the boda guy to buy a tuk-tuk, and the tuk-tuk gentleman to buy a second-hand vehicle, and the one of the second-hand vehicle to buy a new car. That we must. Because as we've been told by the Speaker, this nation does not belong to the elite alone. It belongs to 45 million Kenyans. And finally, I have a confession to make. Finally. I have Right Honorable Ken Lusaka, Speaker of the Senate, the President of the Supreme Court and our Chief Justice, Madam Koome, political leaders who are present here, the leadership of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, Bwana Yesu asifiwe. I will be very brief. First, it's been 2 years since we met last at the prayer breakfast. And in the 2 years, so much has happened. We have had the world and Kenya thrown into a spin because of the corona pandemic. Livelihoods, businesses, enterprises, people have suffered immensely. And we've suffered in a way that is unprecedented. It's never been that churches have been closed, mosques have been closed, schools, and many other places. And it hasn't been fashionable not to go to work, but to stay at home. But that became our lot. But be that as it may, in fact, if by the words of, there is a common askari who is commanding a platoon somewhere in the social media. In our case, and that askari says, semeni kimeumana. Instead of the other two that we had. So much happened, but as things stand today, the Tanga tours are not there, and the reggae has also stopped. I think we need to listen to what that bishop was telling us. We need to do something together. In that same meeting, the former Prime Minister also said something that was profound. In fact, in a very uncharacteristic manner, he gave us a verse. And he told us about Isaiah 1:18 that says, "Come, let us reason together." Maybe again, God is speaking to us and saying, "Come, let us reason together." Finally, last night, as I was preparing, villagers came from the village, including some of my relatives, because my daughter got a spouse. She works in foreign affairs, and so she got a foreigner to be a spouse. And so destroy the firm foundation of constitutional and the rule of law in our nation. The Honorable Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Speaker of National Assembly, the Honorable Speaker of Senate, the Governor of Kisumu, and Mrs. Nyong'o, Cabinet Ministers present, members, distinguished members of the diplomatic corps, Your Excellencies, fellow leaders, ladies and gentlemen, watu wa Kisumu Dala, amos ujadurua onjelo janam untie jadurua umor Mheshimiwa Rais, mimi nitasema kwa kifupi. As we celebrate this 58th Madaraka Day in this historic and great city of Kisumu, I want to laud your 2 days launch of various projects in this county and in this region. It is a testimony that there is a government that works and delivers. And it goes to confirm two things. One, that a government that delivers is good for everybody, irrespective of how and who they voted for. And secondly, that a government that delivers brings the country together. Because what you have done in this county, the administration that you lead, is a confirmation that Kenya, it is possible to develop Kenya equally and bring everybody on board. Your Excellency, the success that the administration that you lead has shown in infrastructure development brings into sharp focus the next phase of our development, a phase that will give opportunity, create jobs, create value, and create wealth so that we can deal with a twin challenge of poverty and unemployment. Your Excellency, that opportunity beckons so that the millions of young people around Kenya and in this region can have a job, they can do business, they can pay taxes, and Kenya can stand proud in the family of nations. Finally, Your Excellency, as we celebrate this 58th Madaraka Day, we are reminded that our forefathers worked hard, toiled, shed blood, so that we can have a democratic nation, a nation anchored not on personalities, but on constitutionalism, a nation built not on the foundation of tribes or ethnicities, but built on the foundation of institutions, a robust legislature, a performing executive, an independent judiciary, and other independent institutions, so that we can all celebrate the firm foundation of the rule of law, not the rule of man. That is a befitting day for us to celebrate our forefathers for bequeathing to us this great nation. It will be an act of great betrayal if we allowed ethnic bigotry and personality cults to destroy the firm foundation of constitutionalism and the rule of law in our nation. They will be proud to see us move forward and march forward, as my brother Anyang' Nyong'o has already elaborated. With those few remarks, Your Excellency, it is now my very humble duty to request His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, to make his statement and continue the program from there. Your Excellency, sir. we have enjoyed the humor around you as you were president. And even retirement, we continued to enjoy the humor around you. I remember, Your Excellency, last week, there was a story that, you know, when you finish school, there is a clearance form that you take around the department for you to be clear. And that last week, you were doing your clearance in State House, and you had a clearance form, and as you went around, everything was signed, but at some point, some fellows said they cannot clear you because there was a small broken window in State House. And the story went that you told them that maybe they should ask retired President Moi because you found the window broken. But finally, because we have seen you here, maybe they cleared you. And if they did not, I will use my good relations with the Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta to make sure that that window is replaced so that there is no problem. That was the story, Your Excellency, we were told last. But on a much more serious note, when President Uhuru Kenyatta and I decided 3 years ago that we were going to work together, it was not about winning an election. It was about bringing communities from across our regions that had been quarreling and fighting for years, not only to work together, but to live together as Kenyans. As we embarked on that journey, God enabled us to not only succeed, but He gave us dividends and He gave us a bonus. He gave us dividends because in the process we won an election, and gave us a bonus because we won that election in round 1. We said then as we say now, that never again will the people of this country shed innocent blood or destroy property on account of political competition. We are unashamed about the mission we embarked on. And we can say today confidently that henceforth political leadership, political competition in our country shall henceforth be about issues, ideas, manifestos, programs, policies, and political parties. That will be the frame upon which political leadership will be canvassed in our country. Today, as we stand here, we know that we have the confidence of the people of Kenya. And we want to undertake that the critical primary responsibility that is on the Jubilee government and which we have pledged is to grow this economy by double digits. Last night, I had the privilege to share a meal and a discussion with the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, because Ethiopia grows its economy by 12%. There is no reason, ladies and gentlemen, with the resources we have, why our economy in 5 years will not be growing by double digits. We are confident that using our strong agricultural base, commercializing agriculture, making sure that our farmers have certified seed, subsidized fertilizer, substitute mechanization for oxen and jembes, and ensuring that we irrigate, expand our irrigation potential, we will surely be able to grow enough food, expand our food production, so that we can lower the cost of living in our country, make our industries competitive, and be able to grow our economy. Let me mention specifically one sphere, and that is tourism. Ladies and gentlemen, the tourist product we have in Kenya is the best anywhere in the world. It is only in Kenya, out of all the nations of the world, that we have the cradle of mankind. Right here in Turkana, where the earliest remains of man have been discovered. Nations, peoples, whether they come from Asia, whether they come from America, whether they come from Europe, when they come to Kenya, because this is where we all began, we can go to the airport and tell them, welcome home, because this is where humanity began. Ladies and gentlemen, if we combine that with the Big Five sensation, with the wildebeest migration that almost became the eighth wonder of the world, with our beaches and mountains and the Great Rift Valley, we have a tourist product and yet we only have 1.5 million tourists coming to Kenya every year. We have 26 million tourists going to Malaysia, for example. There is absolutely no reason why we cannot expand our tourism potential, put more money in marketing, so that we can increase our tourist arrivals to 3 to 5 million and use it to turn around our economy and give jobs to our young people. Let me conclude, ladies and gentlemen, by saying the following. There are people who are worried about the divide in our country. There are people who are wondering what is going to happen between the 6 million Kenyans plus who voted for Jubilee and the 5 million Kenyans plus who voted for other candidates. But let me tell them this. In 2002, because Kenyans are a very interesting lot, and they do things that nobody expects. In 2002, many people did not believe it was possible for people from Nyanza to vote for President Kibaki. What happened? The people of Nyanza voted almost to the man for President Kibaki. In 2007, many people did not believe that people in Rift Valley would vote for Raila Odinga. What happened? People in the Rift Valley voted almost to the man for Raila Odinga. In 2012, many kubaliana na mimi, lakini baadaye tena wakati nilimrudia nikamwambia inaonekana tena imefika wakati mwingine wa kuhama, akaniambia Bill, unajua wewe ni raia na mimi ni askari, so ile utafanya kawaida, generali anashika doria, nyinyi mtaenda mtanikuta hapa mkirudi. So hakukubaliana na mimi safari hiyo ingine, lakini baadaye wakati tulikuwa na matatizo kiasi na rais akasema lazima tumfuate general, tumuingize katika serikali hii atusaidie kufanya kazi kwa Wakenya. Mimi nilimwambia rais, mimi sitaenda kwa sababu huyu mjamaa pengine hata niamini. Kuna mahali nilimwambia twende na tukaenda tukapotea. Sasa safari hii pengine wewe mwenyewe utaenda kumtafuta. Na kwa kweli, kwa sababu ni mtu muungwana na kwa sababu ni mtu ambaye anaamini taifa la Kenya kuliko siasa na kuliko mambo mengine yote ya urafiki, aliamua na akaja. And it is amazing the contribution General Ngaiseri has made in our security sector. It is amazing how a contribution of an individual can make a big difference in matters of a nation. Na mimi ningependa kumaliza kwa kusema, ndugu zangu, watu wa Kajiado na watu wa taifa letu la Kenya, vile Generali Ngaiseri alivyopenda, na mimi najua hakuna taswishi kwa kila mmoja wetu kwamba Generali Ngaiseri alipenda taifa la Kenya. Ilikuwa mapenzi yake sisi wote viongozi tujenge daraja ya urafiki na undugu na umoja baina ya Wakenya wote, bila ya kujali gani wametoka, ni kanisa gani wanakwenda, ni dini gani wana abudu, ama ni warangi gani, ama ni wa kutoka kaunti gani ya taifa letu la Kenya. That was General Ngaiseri. He believed in, and I think his legacy the whole lot of us as leaders and as Kenyans is to build the bridges of unity, friendship, and brotherhood amongst the entirety of all the communities of our country and all the faiths and all the colors and all the regions of our nation. That will be a fitting legacy for General Ngaiseri and a fitting send-off for our dear brother and a great Kenyan. With those remarks, ladies and gentlemen, it's now my very humble duty to request His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, President and Commander-in-Chief of our Defense Forces, Your Excellency Margaret Kenyatta, our First Lady, the Honorable Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Speaker of Senate, the Honorable Speaker of National Assembly, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, former Deputy Prime Minister Musalia Mudavadi, former Minister of Foreign Affairs Moses Wetangula, ministers present, high commissioners and ambassadors, Your Excellencies, permanent secretaries, members of parliament, members of county assemblies, distinguished ladies, fellow Kenyans, hamjambo. Your Excellency, like many people in this stadium, we always knew that as our president, you are also the commander-in-chief of our defense forces. But it is only today that the commander-in-chief part is home, seeing you in uniform as commander-in-chief. Your Excellency, in our midst, we have visitors. We have the Honorable Kirunda Kivenjinja, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs from Uganda. In our midst also, Your Excellency, we have Mr. Alion Sarr, Minister for Commerce, Informal Sector, and SMEs from Senegal. He's right there. Your Excellency, this is a Jamhuri Day that is different from what we have witnessed in the past. Last year, almost 1 year ago, you led the country into an election. You led us and the Jubilee Plan and asked Kenyans to support continuing transformation and continuing to expand the bridges of friendship and unity of our country. Today, Your Excellency, in this Jamhuri, there is enormous effort and there is enormous progress that have been achieved on those two fronts. Today, Your Excellency, under the Big Four plan, we are seeing the continuing transformation of Kenya. And under your initiative to unite the country, in our midst today, Your Excellency, we have our competitors who today join us as a clear testimony of the unity of our country, the maturity of our democracy, and the progress of our nation. People in this stadium, Your Excellency, and those elsewhere are pregnant with expectation of your statement. And now I ask all of us to simama kwa heshima kubwa ndio tumkaribishe kiongozi wetu na rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta. Makofi, 1, 2, 3. Ngine 3. Ine. Asanteni sana. Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of our Defense Forces, Your Excellency First Lady Margaret Kenyatta, distinguished leaders present, Your Excellencies, ambassadors and high commissioners, na Wakenya mwenzangu, hamjambo. Your Excellency, we are celebrating this 57th Jamhuri Day under unique, extraordinary, and unprecedented circumstances that has affected both our political, our social, and our economic status. Your Excellency, the corona pandemic has visited on us serious challenges to families who have lost loved ones, to families who have people, exerted a lot of pressure on our health infrastructure, including our physical facilities, our health professionals, many Kenyans across this nation. Alongside that, Your Excellency, it has also affected livelihoods and businesses, big and small, and put a lot of pressure on our economy. Additionally, Your Excellency, this pandemic going into the future, in another 3 weeks or so, about 14 million of our children will be going to school after a whole year of absence. This situation is unprecedented, and Your Excellency, it calls on all of us to have a unity of purpose, unity of thought, unity of plan. We are confident, Your Excellency, that as you lead the charge to confront this unprecedented challenge in our country, like our forefathers confronted the might of colonialism, we too will overcome this challenge because we believe in your leadership, and together, united, we should be able to build the necessary consensus, have the correct priorities so that we can confront and overcome this situation. Your Excellency, you have the prayers of millions of Kenyans as you lead this nation during these very difficult times. With those many remarks, Kenyans, it's now my humble duty to request His Excellency, the President of Kenya,